We're the Soniqs Rainbow Six team. Today we're going to be ranking the NAL pro teams from a S to D tier. So let's get to it.
And for the third week in a row, the Soniqs seal it out. And the Soniqs take first place as they top the NAL.
So the first team is Mirage. They lost hot and cold. So from an S, A, B, C, D, just go down. Where are you ranking Mirage? They finished third place, phase one.
Okay, well they're not finishing top 4, but I think they're gonna get a C right. I think they're gonna get rating C.
I think they're nothing like I think they're a C.
Well, it's not saying a C plus, a B minus, like right in the middle. I don't think they're a bottom tier team. I think they're like a middle of the pack team.
Yeah, pick one.
Yeah, pick one, dumbass.
Okay, listen. I'd say a C. He made a lot of hero plays.
Okay, what are you thinking?
I think with Hotton they were upper B, but now I think they're probably lower C.
Okay, well I'm gonna say S, but since you guys all said C, we'll place them in C.
Oh, you're gonna say everyone's an S, huh?
I just think they're a great team with a lot of great players. They got Knicks. Why is that funny? And not loading. I mean, that guy is a shooter, just one of the best. So I'm gonna put them at S, but because you guys all said C, we'll rank them C. Okay, so now going back down there, X set. They replaced Butters with Razor, and they also hired Jarvis as a coach, and they brought in Drew Spark, former United analyst, as their analyst.
I don't know what Jarvis is gonna do as much as a coach. I don't know how much it's gonna help them. I'll give X-Set a nice little potential B. I'll set them at a B, but
I'm gonna give X an A. I think they have a lot of good mechanical players. I think Butters didn't play very well this split. I think Razor might bring it. We'll see. The kid kind of needs ping, so we'll see.
I've never been more demoralized playing somebody than Razor in FPL, and I got 70 ping, and he's 19 ping Jaeger swinging me. Like you can't beat him. I would just rate X set like middle of the pack. What is that, B? Yeah.
I'm actually very surprised you guys are ranking them B, because this was the last place team, phase one. You guys are all basically putting them B. You're saying that they, the former 9th place team, are going to be better than Mirage, the former 3rd place team.
Well, yeah, honestly.
You know, Thomas is a good player. Tim's a good player. Yardy, probably one of the best support players in the world. So for me, I'm going to rank them S. What do you think, Evan?
I think they're about the same as Mirage. I'm gonna put them C.
they got John Wick.
They're mechanically okay. Listen,
They have John Wick. They have Debo.
listen, minus
Debo.
All right, so now we're going to Beast Coast. We can go back down the line. Pablo, what do you think about Beast
Wait,
Coast?
what's the lowest rating?
D. So it's S, A, B, C, D.
If I'm being honest, I think they're D. I think Beast Coast's biggest issue was their entry. I still think they're gonna have Fuzzo entry on Nomad, but I give them a D. Straight D.
Yeti, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking a D too, man.
I will say, so from what I know, I believe Rudy is going to be playing entry, like Ash.
Chills.
And then Bio is going to be taking a, I guess a flex, maybe like an OXG type role where he was just picking whatever operator he wanted kind of thing.
I'm just saying the FPL game that I played yesterday, his mental, he was picking Ash.
Well,
and
they
then
don't call
running
it
the building and then saying FPL.
They don't call him Moody Rudy. He's not Moody Rudy for no reason.
I think a D.
Okay. Well, I'm honestly shocked by that. Yeah, so for me, I'm going to go ahead and put them S. The one thing that I think is interesting is they're still operating without a coach. I guess right now they're the only team without a coach. So Bio, I assume, basically is going to take over all of that role.
You got to be top 50 players in the world playing it in pro.
It's true. It's statistically true. There are over 30 million people who own this game, and 100 people are in all the pro leagues. So you statistically are one of the best people in the world. S tier for Beast Coast. What do you think, Evan?
I think I'm gonna have to put him D. I think Rudy, he may run in the building, but I played 2 FPL games with him, and that guy trolls me, so they're gonna have to go D.
So right now we have X at B, Mirage C, Beast Coast D. For the record, I just want to say I have them all S, so don't group me in with that. But yeah, so SSG brought in Houghton. Luke's going back to analyst. What do you think, Pablo? Where's SSG going to be?
I think the S tier teams are at least for my personal ranking, are the top 4 teams. I think SSG is gonna be S tier. I do think they still lack maybe the IGL aspect of the team, but I do think that bringing in Hot and Cold is an extremely good player. You know, he's extremely consistent. He proved it with Mirage, so I give them an S.
I'll put an A. I think they'll finish top 4 because they were really close to it last split with Luke. But I do think they'll have some integral issues with adaptability in the IGL side of things, just because Troy has really big shoes to fill in that department. And I don't think there's really anyone in the world right now that can fill those shoes, but I'll give them A.
As of right now, will be A, and I think they will be top 4, given that they had Folt and Rampy, the 2 highest entry players. Somehow didn't get MVP, don't know how it doesn't make any sense. With time, given a few months, that they'll be S tier. I think they are a top 4 team, and I think they do really well.
Yeah, I'm actually going to rank SSG in D tier. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm going to put SSG in S tier. I definitely think they'll be top 4. I think it's going to be interesting because they've kind of gone, I don't necessarily want to say the G2 route, but they've kind of gone the route of just adding like superstar kind of players to a team and then like hoping one of them can fill the shoes. I think their roster is so talented that regardless they'll be top 4, but I think unless they can kind of figure out the time issue that they kind of have on attack, I don't know that they can challenge for like first place yet.
I do think they'll get top 4, but since they just added Houghton and they're switching roles, I think they won't be like first or second this split, maybe next split.
I'm gonna put SSG A. I think most of you guys said A. So the next team is going to be Disrupt. They finished 4th place, phase 1. They replaced Mark the Shark with DP Fire. I will say something interesting about Mark is on defense, he was one of their lower rated performing players, but they as a team were all very high rated on defense. And on attack, he was their 2nd highest rated player, and they were all very low rated on attack.
I think DG is going to be, I give them a B. But above Exa, I think they're better than Exa. I think like what Mark brought to the team was the fact that like he just ran in and like died when they needed him to, and he was like that player who was like always, he was almost like the crackhead of the team. I think they're gonna be like 5th place. I think like worst, like absolute worst case scenario, they're gonna be 6th. Yeah, so I give them a B.
I'll give Disrupt a C. I think they'll finish middle of the pack, from 5th to 7th.
I think DG, like as Pablo said, will be a B, probably around Exet. I don't think DP. I think DP Fire for Mark is an upgrade mechanically, although I don't see DG being a top 4 team. I see middle of the pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna put DG at S tier. DP Fire is just one of the greatest entries, honestly, that we've seen from Challenger League. So you're kind of, in a way, changing the role of maybe your best player to accommodate a Challenger League player. So I could see that backfiring, and if they're not changing Iconic's role, then DP is going to be going into a new role himself. You know, all these Challenger League players have never played on LAN. It's a different environment, different game for sure. They are better in XSET. I would probably place them about 5th or 6th because I'm factoring in that SSG and TSM did not make top 4 stage 1, and I expect both of them to make top 4.
I'm gonna have to put them in B because I don't think they're better than SSG, but they're definitely better than XSET. I think with DP Fire is definitely an upgrade, but like you said, it's not like a huge difference.
Okay, so next team is TSM. Obviously one of the 3 teams to make no changes. What do you think, Pablo?
I think TSM's an S tier team. I think they're all like good players. I do think they like, was that Data who said the role changes?
Yeah.
Well, so they are going to be trying new roles where Bolo is playing entry, Merc is playing flank watch, and I think Chala was playing 2nd entry. I don't know if that's true. I don't know, you know, who knows with that, but yeah, that's a possibility that we see some different roles from them, which is confusing to me, to be honest, but.
When everybody thinks of Merc, he's almost like the Ash Jaeger player, the Ash Vigil player that everyone thinks about. So it's going to be weird to see him on flank watch. Although I do think the metas are evolving more around like all 5 players. Like, it's like, I feel like it's going to be more of like a frag heavy meta. I do think TSM is going to finish top 4.
I think the role change is actually up a good bit. I think Merc's kind of been struggling in the fragging department. And Chala's obviously, I think he's like really nasty and people don't really see that side of him. He's just one of the less flashy players. And Bolo obviously has like probably the best mechanics in the world. So they didn't have a bad invite performance. I'll give them S tier. They're going to finish top 4.
I agree. I think TSM is an S tier team. Obviously they played an invite, but they got 3rd. They finished top 4. The first stage was, I feel like it was unlucky. There was a couple upsets, and then they had really close games like against us, 8-7.
I'm also going to put TSM S tier. I do want to say something interesting about Merc is Merc for stage 1 NAL was actually their 2nd highest rated player, and at Invitational he was their 2nd highest rated player. So I kind of disagree with the notion that he's struggling. To me, Merc is, for maybe the past 2 years now, probably one of the like top 3-4 Ash players. But yeah, I'm ranking them S tier regardless because I expect Bolo to perform better. They did just finish top 4 invite. They honestly would have placed, I think, top 3 NAL if they would have just beaten either Beast Coast or Disrupt.
Either way, I still put them S as well. I think if they do go through the changes, it depends if how aggro Bolo is, I think Chala has no problem on second. But if they slow down, I don't know how their attacks will look, but I do think they'll be us.
And that brings us to OXG. Also didn't make any changes. Obviously, first place NAL, stage 1, top 6, invite.
I think I give OXG S tier. I do think they're a really good team. I think they're like, OXG almost remind me of like the G2 type thing, where it's like 5 like quote unquote like fraggers. I think OXG is gonna be S tier for sure. I don't know if I'd say they're gonna finish first again, although I wouldn't be like, if they do finish first again, I mean, like, that'd be crazy, but
I'm gonna give them A, honestly. I think, obviously they're gonna be contention for winning the stage again, like top 4. I think TSM's gonna be kind of the WoW team this split that they really didn't have one last split, so I'll just give them A. They didn't really make any changes.
As much as I hate them, I think they're A. I think Kino's really good. I think Yaga didn't have a good stage 1, but he's like a really good player. I do think they'll contend for top 4, but I can see him not being inside of it.
I'm gonna put them S. I think Yag will continue to improve. He had actually a really good invitational. He was, I think, their highest rated player, also one of the 5 highest rated entry players at invitational. Honestly, I just think it depends mainly on like less on their newer players and more on the like core of the team on how they're gonna play.
I do think that DZ will not finish above DG though. I'm pretty passionate about that choice.
Well, I think DZ's core is really good.
I think it is too.
They got a really good core. I think I don't know how it's gonna work out, but
I think they're
You just got to see BC, because if BC is bad, then they're in trouble.
Yeah.
If BC is BC, then they can beat anybody,
CT,
depending.
Sonar, missile, grenades.
But also gotta think he's not playing like nades anymore, right? He's
What's
playing
he on?
Mirage.
I believe he's playing support. From what I understand, I believe he's going to be playing like support IGL. I think they're known as a very rigid, structured team without a lot of adaptability. Now, obviously, there's an IGL change because Skies was an IGL, he's gone. Min's an IGL, he's gone. BC's coming in as the IGL, but BC was the coach, so he's the one like implementing that philosophy almost. So I don't know, like, I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see. They're the biggest wild card because BC, if we're just going by players, BC is like on par historically of Hot and Cold in terms of like how good he is as a pickup. Maybe our prediction would change if they pick up like God knows who, like fucking Pengu gets announced, then maybe we change our announcement. But
just imagine being in a lobby with your GM, not your coach.
They'd be like, yeah, Darren's gonna step in today. He just, if don't let him die, or
It's game over. Like,
All right, Darren, you're on hard breach. We'll try not to let you die. He dies, gets pissed off. Like, all right, you guys are all gone.
yeah. So the last team is us, obviously. Right now, just the way we have it rated, we have TSM first, OXG second, SSG third, DZ fourth, DG fifth, XZ sixth, Mirage seventh, Beast Coast 8th. So where do you guys see us placing, Pablo?
I think we're still gonna be top 4. I still think we're like an S tier team. No bias.
I don't think you can say that as a member of the team. No bias.
No bias. Our 6 of the 9 Pro League teams made changes this split or stage 2 coming into stage 2. So
If scrims were matches, we would be 9. We would be 9th place.
These
Yeah,
T3
we'd actually
teams
not,
just make me want to not
change
play
your
the
ping with
game
the
anymore.
CL. That's 70 ping.
I think I'm about to lose my job.
We scrim train with weight vests
70
on.
ping, 5 less seconds on the round. Like,
Yep.
They only got 20 ping and they're all
you got
crap.
them entering in the building at 30 seconds.
I don't see us lower than like DJ or XM. So.
I think we'll get S tier. I think we still will be a top 4 team. Obviously, we only played 3 maps total. We played in Oregon, and we did really well at it. I don't see us finishing lower than top 4 unless we have a couple upsets. But yeah, I think we'll be up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna put us at D tier. Obviously, we're one of the 3 teams to not make a change. We finished second, and obviously, we all know we could have won stage 1. And we didn't play at Invite. Basically, the only VODs people have on us are Oregon and Clubhouse. Like, there's just nothing that anybody knows about us. That works in our favor. SSG making roster changes is obviously going to make them a really competitive team. I think we have a good schedule in that we play them first, so they might, get better, like Yeti said, towards the end of the season. And then Dark Zero, I think, kind of helped us out as well, is because we actually lost to Dark Zero last phase. That was one of the wins that we were 6-2. And they're a really, honestly, they're a really good team. They kind of have a play style that kind of counters the way we play a little bit. But
The Hydra Shield meta.
yeah, but now that they've made the roster changes, I feel like they're beatable for us. We did have 3 overtime wins, So you never know what happens in overtime. One game could go, like one round can determine a match. Obviously the goal for us long term is just to keep adding points for Invitational, which I think we'll do. I think we're still a top 4 team. I think at worst we're a top 5 team, but I'm still going to put us D tier because you know, there's just a lot of good teams, and it's just all luck basically. Like, if I'm looking at our team, we lack fragging, we lack IGLing, we lack strategy. We just have a lot of energy. We have a lot of energy. Yeah. So what are you thinking, Kansan?
Obviously, I'm gonna have to put us S tier. I think it'll be definitely harder this stage because people won't play us in Oregon, but I think as long as we bring the same energy on the other maps, I think we'll do fine.
I would probably put us 9th, but besides that, I think everything else is right. But yeah, all right. So that's it. That's all the NAL teams. Soniqs first. Woo! TSM 2nd, OXG 3rd, SSG 4th, Dark Zero 5th, Disrupt 6th, XSET 7th, Mirage 8th, and Beast Coast 9th. If you don't know, we play SSG on June 15th. I think we're like the 3rd game, so that'll be a good game. According to our ratings, it's 2 of the top 4 teams playing each other right off the bat. So we'll see what happens there, see how Houghton does on SSG. But yeah, I guess we'll see you guys for NAL Stage 2.
Were we supposed to be looking at the camera the entire time?
I don't think it really matters.
Oh, 'cause I was out the front. I was just fucking. I was just staring everywhere.
She's just like, wow.
I was just, dude. I was just.